Hey friends, Tom Wiley here. I found a handy new tool for being out here in the pasture and dealing with fallen limbs that fell down on our electric fence. And I'm going to start carrying it around with me whenever I'm out here in the pasture to deal with thorns and blackberry bushes and stuff like that. So last night we got dumped with, it probably was 6 to 8 inches of snow, and now it's settled and compacted a lot because it's very wet. But I had all this temporary fencing, poly braid stuff that got nailed with the snow. It was sagging all over the place. So I kind of knocked it loose the best I could last night and then just went to bed. So today I'm out here and I got all the wire freed up. So everything's up out of the snow again. All the weeds and stuff, any blades of grass or anything that were up next to the wire and got loaded with snow, they bent down and sagged down the wire. So it was amazing how thoroughly that was down. But cedars, we got a bunch of broken cedar branches today. So our fence, as you can see, the fence goes right through that tree, and because I wanted them to have shelter on both sides of it, and one branch split and broke and fell right on the wire, so it was pinning it down. And so I got to try out the new tool that I set up I got yesterday, and it's just this little 4-inch chainsaw wheel to go on an angle grinder. So this, man, that turned out really handy. I would love it if it was like 4.5 or 5 inches, because this can handle a 5-inch wheel, this grinder, but it's working pretty hard just pushing this 4-inch wheel. So I can understand, and it's just what was available. This is from Harbor Freight. And so far I'm really impressed. I love that I can sharpen it. So this is a wheel that I won't have to replace like an abrasive wheel. It's not something I have to replace, as soon as it gets dull. I will be able to sharpen and file down the rakers, and just like a normal chainsaw, but there's no fuel, no oil, no, minimal noise. It is so small. I can just tuck it, throw it in my wagon, bring it in the buggy when I come out here. So I'm going to start using it on like little trees if they're in the way, and thorns that I don't want to run over. I can just whip it out, get to the base, zip it off, and be done, and gather that stuff if I want to. But I'm really happy for this new tool. I used it to clear our driveway this morning. Yes, I could have used a chainsaw, but it's in the back of the shop. I'd have to gas it up and mess with earplugs, and much more of an ordeal, where literally I threw the wheel on it, I carried this, walked out to the front of the driveway, and did the trimming I needed to do. The biggest branch I cut through was probably big, like 2.5 inches diameter or something. So not huge, and you have to cut it from a couple different sides, but for just form factor, size, convenience, nifty little tool. And also better, in my opinion, better than a weed eater with a big cutting blade like that on it for running around and doing stuff like this. If I'm setting up fence, if I go out to clear that whole area, a weed eater, or for that matter, a brush hog or a walk behind brush mower, something like that. But even a weed eater with a brush clearing blade would be handy for if I'm going out specifically to do the work of cutting down these trees. Yes, that'd be great. But for the fact of just running around in the side by side or pulling a wagon around and just having the capability of quickly zipping through a branch that's fallen on the wire or something, this is really handy.